Hello and welcome back to Boring Dad Gaming, where today we're going to be playing some more Rosewater. We're back on the, I don't know what to call it, a wagon, I suppose. It's a steam-powered wheeled conveyance unique to this universe. I think we just chatted to Phil. Why don't we have another chat with Nadine?
Hey, Nadine.
Hello, Harley.
Think Miss Atomi's show will be a success?
I'd like to think so. We certainly left it better than when we found it.
We can't say that about many things.
Hey, Jake.
Yeah, Harley?
In your professional opinion, do you think Miss Atomi's show has what it takes to succeed?
Oh, sure. We really dazzled it up for him. If it ain't a hit, I'll eat my hat.
How about another story?
Sure. Let me tell you about the biggest rattlesnake I ever saw. So that's how I learned to never turn my back on a snake.
No, it cannot be.
What's up, Phil?
What's going on?
Not sure, but we're slowing down. Must be something important if he convinced Miss Johnson to stop. I'll go have a look. Care to explain what's going on?
I know these people. They are from Jicotea.
All the way out here?
Yes. I thought they might head for the border, as I did. I am relieved to see they made it.
General Márquez, ¿qué haces aquí?
Antonio, it is good to see you are well.
I would not say I am well, General.
This is my companion, Harley Leger.
Has the General recruited you to his cause then?
Far from it. We're looking for a missing fortune.
I see. A treasure, is it? The General is adept at enlisting people to pursue his flights of fancy.
What are you talking about, Antonio?
You came to our village with your talk of revolution and freedom. You are very persuasive, General. Your words moved people and put many innocent lives in harm's way. No sooner had you arrived than the army came to rain fire upon us. Surely you knew what would happen.
I expected some response, of course. But who could anticipate that those Spanish dogs would behave like such inhuman monsters? But I also believed that the people would resist. And resist they did.
You gave us no choice. We were forced to defend ourselves. But you never allowed us to decide if we wanted to join your fight.
I did not consider.
It is only by God's grace that some of us managed to escape. Jicotea, our home, is gone. Those who survived made our way here to this strange country.
Where is Lieutenant Morales? I ordered him to lead a civilian evacuation as escort. Did he not conduct you to safety?
Yes, he did. But I do not think it would be a good idea for you to see him. In fact, it would be best if you just go now. We do not need any more of your revolution here, General.
Okay.
Not quite the welcome you were expecting, is it? Maybe we can do something to get these folks on your side again.
Like what?
Let's poke around. Something might come to us.
Okay. Well, we can come talk to Antonio over here. Let's have a look at this newspaper first. Maybe it's got something.
Seems to be a
relevant in it.
newspaper from a nearby town.
Rebels rouse rabble, raise ruckus. Scattered southern skirmishes stir Spanish soldiers' gall. Alliteration, the newsman's poetry. Needham's new circular. So it doesn't have a date. Is it? Oh, I was trying to turn the page. Hang on. Okay, something about candles. Something about a mill. Let's read the one that seems relevant to this little storyline. Like two homesteaders on adjoining plots of land, who each must suffer the fragrant musk of the other's livestock, the encroachment of creeping weeds, drifting gusts of smoke, and the muffled clatters and cries of domestic disharmony borne over the air from his neighbour, disrespectful of any boundary marker or property line, no more can our nation remain hermetic and unaware of the private troubles and effluent discharge of our neighbour to the south. While the ill-favoured rebellion of a certain new Spanish rustics against the brutish excesses of their sovereign king may be accounted a wholly internal matter for the citizens of that empire and her colony, The result has been a steady northward crossing of the would-be uprisers and refugees in the wake of their failed campaigns of resistance. The vagabond trains of these uprooted peasants have become a familiar sight in these parts, wending through our hills and valleys, bearing the remnants of their households upon their backs. Is it not neighbourly, then, for us Vespuccians to take an interest in matters beyond our border, to wonder whether New Spain might yet reclaim her wayward citizens, taking refuge in our fields like a runaway child fleeing a loutish father's heavy hand? While the cries of revolution have requited since the rout of rebel General Marquez and the raising of insolent Yacotea, occasional reports have surfaced to offer a small glimmer of hope for the cause. A fortnight ago, for instance, the armory of the garrison at Loma Verde is said to have suffered calamity when the considerable store of gunpowder kept there ignited in the night, a careless mishap, or the work of insurgents still uncowed. Okay. All right, let's have a chat with Antonia then.
Could I have a moment?
What do you want?
I'd like to hear more about you.
My name is Antonio Ruiz. Like my family for generations before me, I used to be a baker in our village, Jicotea, but everything changed when General Marquez came to us. Now my family is gone, and I am a refugee in a foreign land.
I'm so sorry.
Better to be alive somewhere strange than dead at home.
How did you wind up in this camp?
Lieutenant Morales got us away from our village and helped us across the border. We decided to head west, out of the desert. 3 weeks ago, we found this abandoned church and set up our camp. It has not been easy. We have sick and injured, and we have already lost some along the way. We cannot stay here forever. We need to find a more permanent home.
We'd like to see Lieutenant Morales.
As I said before, that is not a good idea. Lieutenant Morales has been through enough already. I do not want to torment him further by allowing General Marquez an audience.
Thank you, sir.
Adios, señorita.
Okay, what else have we got here? Something was tied up here until recently.
There's a length of string tied to this tree. Must have been used to hang laundry.
Okay.
It keeps the chill of the forest at bay. The pot hanging above it is empty. There's quite a few people. Doesn't look like they've been camped here very long. Looks like they've set up a lantern. The candle needs replacing. It's almost completely melted.
Okay, so maybe we've got to help them out a little bit.
Not a bad place to seek shelter, though the building's clearly been abandoned for quite some time.
What have I got on me at the moment? Make someone some tea.
General Marquez. No puede ser.
Isabel, I am glad to see you.
What are you doing here? And who is this?
Good to meet you. I'm Harley Leger. We'd like to help you if we can.
Is that so? Will you be helping us the way General Marquez did when you abandoned us to the Spanish army?
Isabel, you're not being fair.
You dare talk to me about fairness? Fairness would be seeing you executed for cowardice.
What?
After drawing the army into a battle, you fled, leaving us to be massacred.
I did no such thing.
You should have stayed and fought with us, first into battle and last to retreat. Instead, you withdrew as Jicotea crumbled. How do you expect to achieve victory if you do not stay to claim it?
I thought...
It was only the brave leadership of Lieutenant Morales that kept us alive. Now, we are stuck here, unable to return and take back what's rightfully ours. I don't want to speak about this anymore. Leave me in peace, General.
Yikes. Popular guy.
Ma'am?
What is it?
Tell me more about yourself, Isabel.
Myself. What can I say? My life has been completely destroyed. I used to take care of my grandchildren, while my son and his wife worked their farm. Now, I am stuck in a strange country with no hope of return. And to complete my torment, the man responsible for it all turns up as if nothing happened.
Is your family here? Did they escape with you?
No. My son stood up to the Spanish tyrants and died defending his home. Last I saw his wife, she was fleeing with the children. I do not know where they went. Lieutenant Morales and his men ushered a group of us out. There was no time to gather anything or find our loved ones.
I'm so sorry.
As am I. Sorry I cannot return to punish those who robbed us of our freedom.
How did you come to shelter in this church?
After crossing into Vespuccia, we soon realized that we could not survive in the open desert. The forest proved just as dangerous. At last, we happened upon this abandoned church. It may not be much, but at least it has walls and a roof.
Can you tell me about Antonio?
That poor old fool. He has completely given up. He thinks we should abandon our home, start over in Vespuccia, rather than return to the fight. The man I once knew would not just roll over and admit defeat. It is sad to see how age has enfeebled him.
Would it be possible for us to speak with Lieutenant Morales?
That is out of the question.
We'll talk again later.
Okay, let's see what we got in here, and then we'll talk to Marquez. Phil.
It's been a long time since anyone used that altar. This shelf probably held many candles once, but there's only some old dried wax now. A glob of dried wax. Someone was careless with a candle. The pews have seen better days. Some of them have been converted into makeshift beds. They've turned a pew over to serve as a table, and it seems the collection plate's been turned into a serving plate. Someone left their knife behind.
So we're not taking that, at least not yet.
It leads up to the loft, but I'm not risking my neck to see what's up there. Several articles of clothing are hanging to dry.
All right, let's talk to Phil.
Phil?
Harley?
Who is this Lieutenant Morales you mentioned?
One of my bravest compadres, and a dear friend. I tasked him with leading the survivors of Jicotea north, across the border, if necessary. If he is here, I would very much like to speak with him.
Right. Carry on.
All right, nothing too revealing. Head back out. Not really sure what to do.
Could I have a moment?
What do you want?
Tell me about Isabel.
Isabel is misguided. She believes we should return to Jicotea and fight. She refuses to see the truth. We are better off in Vespuccia. A revolution is a lost cause. Our own country would have us submit or die. All that is left to us is to start a new life here.
Thank you, sir.
Adios, señorita.
Phil?
Harley?
Isabel and Antonio aren't too fond of you. Think we might be able to bury the hatchet?
Perhaps. I have been thinking about what might serve for a peace offering.
I'm listening.
These people have lost so much. They have not had the opportunity to properly mourn. I would like to present them with a candle of remembrance.
What's that?
A simple votive candle, lit to honor those who have passed. We just need to find or make one. I hope they might appreciate the gesture.
Could you tell me about that candle again?
It is a votive candle lit in remembrance of the dead. We need to find one, or make it.
Right.
Okay,
Carry on.
so we got quite a lot of dried wax around, which was highlighted. Let's do that.
Don't mind if I do.
There's the string here. Maybe we can take a bit of that as a wick. I imagine we're going to melt the stuff in the
It's
empty
tied on
cauldron.
really tight. Can't just rip it off.
Okay, maybe I could use this.
If I want a piece of this clothesline,
Yeah, that's why I was suggesting the arrowhead. Okay, well, we'll come back to that. Let's grab the dried wax.
I'll take some of this wax. This is stuck fast.
Okay, we'll try the arrowhead again, even though this doesn't seem to ever
That
do
won't
anything.
help.
All right. So we need a knife or
Phil?
something. Maybe
Harley?
Phil's got one.
Right. Carry on.
Oh, knife here. Of course.
I'll just borrow this for a spill. Got it.
Use this to cut the washing line as well. Just need a little bit of it, just for a candle wick. Right, okay, well I imagine that we're going to dump this stuff in the cauldron or pot to melt it.
That should be enough wax.
Is this in it, perhaps?
How about that? Harley Leger, chandler extraordinaire.
We've probably made a very short, fat candle. I don't know how we've made it that shape, considering that we've put it in a big cooking pot. But that's probably what Phil's after.
Here, I made a remembrance candle for you.
Yes, this will work. Good. I can call everyone together for a vigil. A moment of peace is sorely needed. But there is one more thing. These people cannot stay here. They need a plan of action.
Seems like they've already got some ideas.
Yes, Antonio and Isabel are at odds, but there is merit in both of their positions. I do not know whose leadership would benefit this community more. Although my influence is somewhat diminished, I feel that many might still be swayed if I were to lend my voice in support of one or the other. Who would you choose, were you in my position?
Let's see what he thinks first.
What are the arguments in favor of each? Walk me through it.
Well, Isabel's heart still burns with the spirit of the revolution. And she says that many feel the same. She would have them go back in defiance of a government so morally corrupt that it would send soldiers to massacre simple villagers.
What do you think would happen to them?
They'd
They
be
would all
killed.
be risking their lives. But they would also be sending a powerful message. The revolution lives. The people yearn to be free. We will not surrender to evil. Such a proclamation cannot be ignored. And when enough voices finally shout it all at once, it cannot be resisted.
And the points in Antonio's favor?
Antonio rightly says that the people of Jicotea did not ask for their village to become a fortress of the resistance. By my coming, I made it a target. They were swept up in something over which they had no control and no say. And they have already paid a steep price.
But surely there must have been some support for the revolution among the people, or you wouldn't have gone there in the first place.
Some, yes. Many were sympathetic to our aims, but had not yet been moved to action. We were trying to rally support. A brave man may offer up his life for a cause, but may he bravely offer up the lives of others.
Okay, so here's my thinking. They're not soldiers. They're not fighters. They're villagers. You know, there's children and old people here. So I think they should resettle here. You know, other people can continue the revolution back in their homeland. People more fitting to be fighters for their cause. These guys would just go and be absolutely slaughtered, I think, back there, wouldn't they? So resettle.
If you did that, you'd be just as guilty as that corrupt government you're trying to resist. These people have suffered enough. They've already sacrificed more to the cause than anyone has a right to ask. Antonio should help them try to forge a new life here.
Yes, I suppose that is the wisest course. I will go speak with Antonio. Gather the villagers and meet me in the church.
All right.
Amigos, thank you all for gathering to listen to my words. You all have suffered tremendously. I know you do not look favorably upon me, but I wish to offer my sincerest condolences and take a moment to remember the fallen. Whether or not they would have chosen this fight, it came to them unasked and claimed their lives. Eusebio Lopez, Gloria Hernandez, Abel Martinez. Let us cherish their memory and ensure that their names are never forgotten. Now that we have honored the past, let us speak of the future. Antonio has made me realize how unfair I have been. When I came to Jicotea, I hoped you would all voluntarily take arms and fight. Many of you did, and for that I will always be grateful. But I did not realize that I was also forcing the battle upon you. In not giving you a choice, I became no better than our oppressors. For this, I am sorry.
Nonsense, General. We knew we had to fight.
No, Isabel. You knew you had to fight. Others may have chosen differently, but they were denied the option to live peacefully. The revolution must serve the people, not the other way around. Freedom is useless if no one is alive to be free. Those of you who wish to return and continue the fight have my blessing, but I will not order any of you back into battle. This country has shown me compassion and support. I am sure it will do the same for you. Antonio will lead you on to find someplace new to live and work, where you may continue your lives in peace. New Spain will always be your home, but Vespuccia will be your sanctuary.
Thank you, General. I'm glad you spoke reason.
It was the least I could do. I hope you can forgive me for my prior oversights.
I think I can. Before you leave us, you wanted to see Lieutenant Morales? I can take you to him if you like.
Is he dead?
Please.
Come with me.
I think he might be. Or very, very badly or ill. Ah, there we go. Yeah.
When did this happen?
2 weeks ago, some of the children were playing in the forest when they startled a mother bear with her cub, and Lieutenant Morales got them to safety, but the beast mortally wounded him.
Brave to the last.
Indeed, he died a hero's death, protecting the vulnerable.
May I have a moment? Lieutenant Morales, I promise your death will not be in vain. We will carry your name on our lips when we march to victory. Until we meet again, old friend. Come, Harley. Let us continue our journey. Adios, Antonio.
Adios, General.
Why don't you go on ahead? I'd like a minute to collect my thoughts.
Very well.
Okay, well, what are we doing here? I mean, there's not a lot to do. Why don't we just go? It's very pretty, but...
Oh, good, you're back. We're low on food. If we want to eat tonight, we'll need to hunt for more. I'll let y'all decide what we're after. Round here, the fishing's pretty good, and there's plenty of rabbits and pheasants. Personally, I'd suggest rabbits. Easiest to catch and prepare.
I wouldn't be opposed to some pheasant. Danny makes a mean stew.
Yeah, that sounds good.
What kind of fish are common around here?
Mostly salmon.
Ah, then fishing gets my vote.
Yes, I vote fishing as well.
And you, Leger?
Well, fishing got 2 votes, so let's go for that.
Salmon gets my vote too.
Then it's decided. The 3 of you who wanted salmon, take the poles in the wagon and get fishing. Rest of us will start making camp.
I have a good feeling about this place. Let us cast our lines here.
Here? All right, then.
Have you ever fished before, Harley?
Would you believe this is my first time?
Do not worry. It is not difficult to pick up. Just cast your line and wait for a tug. When you feel the bite, secure the line.
You want to reel the fish in as quickly as possible. If it puts up a fight, pull your rod in the opposite direction to where the fish is going. Once you've got it back in the center, you can start reeling it in again.
All right, here goes nothing.
Okay, I don't know the controls, but...
I got...
How do I reel in?
Hey, come back here.
Hang on. Controls? Okay. Don't know what the controls are.
I got something.
Why? Oh,
Damn, it got away.
okay. I'm thinking like an action game. I should be thinking like a point and click.
I got something.
All right.
Got it. Now to reel it in.
Keep reeling in. It's not pulling. We're going to be an old
Got you.
boot or something. Oh, I assume it was a fish. Okay.
So how did you two fare?
I caught 2 fish.
I only one.
I only got one as well.
Perhaps this was not as favorable a location as it seemed.
What about that bear that killed Morales?
What was
that? Oh, God.
Oh no.
Carajo!
Shh, don't shout. Bears don't like loud noises.
Well, I do not like bears.
What are we supposed to do?
Stay quiet. Move away very slowly.
I think we should run while we still can.
I'm backing away some more.
Good idea.
Okay, Nadine seems like she's got a good idea of what to do.
Bears like fish, right? Maybe if we give it some, it won't come after us.
Not a bad idea. It seems to be working. Come, keep moving away.
That was close.
Much closer than I would have liked.
At least we got away with our lives, and some of our food.
I think that after that ordeal, this fish will be the best tasting meal we have ever had.
Let's go back to camp.
I didn't realize we'd only have limited chances. Well, I mean, I didn't realize what the controls were, to be fair.
Now that was some good eating. So, I've been meaning to ask, what's everybody planning on doing with their share of Clark's stash?
Jake, is that something we should really be talking about?
Look, I ain't deaf. I've known about your little treasure hunt for a while. Far as I'm concerned, that's your business, and I want no part of it. You paid me to get you to El Presidio, and that's what I'm doing.
Miss Johnson's been a valuable member of this group. I think we should cut her in.
You're kind, Leger, but I ain't interested. I was taught to earn an honest living, and that's what I intend to do.
Anyhow, the question stands.
I think I'd like to buy a new pair of six-shooters. Maybe a horse. It'd be nice to travel the countryside, too.
Have we not been doing that?
Well,
yeah,
sure,
good point.
But I meant for pleasure. What about you, Phil?
My share will go to the revolution, of course. With full coffers, we will more readily find willing allies. And, of course, I will send something to assist the refugees here in Vespuccia.
That's good of you, Phil. I think I'd like to open my own clinic.
Dr. Redbird, eh?
Well, no, I can't practice as a doctor without a medical license. But I could continue as an herbalist. Or maybe a midwife.
So get your medical license. You're already worth 10 of those frontier quacks out there. They're all practicing with some scrap of parchment they paid some fancy school for. You could just write in for one. You'd never have to attend a class or show your face.
Perhaps that's something to consider. You sure you aren't interested in joining us, Miss Johnson? The extra money could let you stay in one place for a while.
An interesting thought. But I don't mind moving around, at least until I find something worth staying put for.
What about you, Harley?
What do we want to do? We should get a piece of land, put down some roots.
Maybe I'll put it away and start saving up for my own piece of land.
Will you build a house?
Sure, why not? Sounds nice. Never had a house before. And you, Jake?
Oh, I haven't really thought about it.
But you asked the question.
Sure, but because I was curious about you folks. Truth be told, I ain't in much of a hurry for this trip to end.
Well, that's awful sweet.
I'll lay off, will you? All right, folks, I'm turning in. See y'all in the morning.
Should we pet the dog? Always first order of business. I don't remember what name we decided on now. It was Lisa Lou
girl.
or something, wasn't it?
How are you feeling, Phil?
Oh, well, I have had much to think about of late. Learning the fate of Lieutenant Morales and the refugees has left me uneasy. I ask myself whether we did the right thing. Will they be able to begin a new life here? And what of the revolution? Or the mystery of the fort's Aurum shipments? I have yet to hear from Lieutenant General de la Vega regarding either. So many questions and so few answers.
Sounds like you really do have a lot on your mind.
Indeed. Would you like to join me in a toast to the fallen?
Sure thing.
Gladly.
A los caídos. Salud!
Harley's going to have an alcohol problem by the time she
Salad.
gets to the end of this road trip.
I believe I will retire for the evening. Good night to you all.
Glad to see you and Lisa Lou getting along so well.
She's a great pup. Suddenly the road feels a little less lonely. Ain't that right, girl?
You okay, Nadine? You seem lost in thought.
Oh, I was just contemplating what Miss Johnson said about me getting a license. I never really thought about it before. On one hand, it's exciting to think about all the possibilities, but it's also just as terrifying to consider the unknown.
She should go for it.
Well, I think Miss Johnson has a point. You should try for your license. Anyway, isn't considering the unknown all part of being a doctor?
That's an interesting way of looking at it. I'll give it some more thought. It seems I'm sleepier than I thought. I should get to bed.
Fair enough. Get some rest.
Good night, Harley. Please excuse me. I'll see you all in the morning.
About you,
Doing
Danny?
all right, Danny?
I think so, yeah. I'm feeling pretty tired. Think I'll hit the hay.
Looks like you and I are the last ones standing for a change.
Imagine that. You going to bed?
Guess so. You?
Not just yet. Time to get in my nightly walk.
All right. Enjoy yourself. See you in the morning.
Good night, Leger. Come on, girl.
Morning. We ready to head out?
We should be once Lola returns.
Oh, no.
She said she was going to go scout down
Oh,
the
okay. I thought she
roadways.
didn't come back from
That
her
was a
night
while
walk.
ago. Maybe we should go check on her.
I'll go look for her.
You sure?
Yeah. Be back in no time. The breakfast fire's still going.
Okay, well, she's not here. Oh, okay. She's all right.
Everything all right?
Oh, yeah. Just some damn vandals making trouble.
Vandals? I don't follow.
Just have a look. Somebody's desecrated this traveler's shrine.
What's a traveler's shrine?
A custom of the road. Folks set 'em up for lots of reasons. Some think they bring luck. Others use 'em to pray to St. Christopher. Sometimes they have gifts or supplies you can use, provided you leave something for the next traveler.
What kind of person would mess with something meant to help people?
Plenty of folk in my experience. Sorry way of the world. We gotta fix this. Whoever did this probably just scattered everything around. We can search the area for what's missing.
What exactly are we looking for?
Well, the icon of St. Christopher for one. See all that writing on the boulder next to the shrine? There was probably something people used to make those marks, but that's also gone. And the offering box is empty, so we should put something in before we go.
All right, let's get to work.
Hey, what do we got? Let's have a look at this to begin with.
Someone left some oranges, but they've gone moldy. Looks like this is where the writing tool is supposed to go. That must be where the supplies go. A makeshift alcove. Fine place for an icon.
We could leave some tea.
That wouldn't help anybody.
Well, unless they wanted tea. Alright.
It's covered in writing. Mostly place names, but a few messages here and there. What's all this writing mean?
Folk usually write the name of their destination on a nearby surface.
Was this actually an Old West custom, or is it made up for this game's universe? I've never heard of that.
Nice little pond.
Keep your distance. That's poison ivy.
Okay, not a lot else to... I can try talking to her
Hey,
here.
Miss Johnson?
What is it?
What sort of things do people usually leave as offerings?
Some useful supplies to help the next traveler in need. Ideally, something that won't attract animals, so not food. I'd suggest drinking water or candles or something along those lines.
We should get back to looking.
I agree.
Alright, so possibly water from this pond, but I don't have a container for it. So let's look at the other screen.
Watch out for the broken glass there.
People have no regard.
There's a big hole in that tree. What's this? Looks like I found St. Christopher.
Good.
Those look poisonous.
Interesting looking mushrooms.
Very interesting. Especially if you want to poison somebody.
Okay, I'll take the bottle, that's for drinking
This
water.
bottle's still intact.
So we're looking for, like, candle or firewood?
The tree's covered in moss. A pile of dead leaves. Hey, a piece of chalk.
There we go. We're getting closer. What's over here?
What do you suppose felled this log?
Probably a storm. No claw or teeth marks.
Nothing inside but dead leaves and insects. Yuck! What's that?
Probably a squirrel or chipmunk.
Okay, well, we've got a bunch of stuff, so why don't we head back? Let's get some water.
Hope you ain't thinking of drinking that.
No?
Something wrong?
That water's stagnant. Unless you want to be running out both ends, you better boil it first.
Good idea. Okay, so we had the cook pot, didn't we? So we should go back to that.
I'm heading back to camp for a spell.
All right then.
So let's boil this water. People don't get sick.
This shouldn't take long. There, nice and clean.
Cool, cool, cool. Okay. Then we got everything we need.
There you are, St. Christopher. Back where you belong.
Don't know we can do much about the moldy oranges, but we'll put some clean
There.
drinking water
Now
there.
the next thirsty traveler can have some clean drinking water. Right? I think that's everything.
Not quite.
You're going to write something?
Yep.
Wherever.
I don't understand. What does your message mean?
I'm asking for safe passage to wherever I end up.
And where's that?
Damned if I know. Right now, the only way I'm going is forward. We all got our paths in this life. I'm just trying to forge mine.
I know what you mean. I've never stayed in one place too long either.
That so?
I'd only been in Rosewater a day before we started this trip. Before that, I lived in Pierre a few years after moving from Rampton. But I grew up in New Britannia.
Lamplight City? So you're one of them tough gals, huh?
Well, there was a time I boxed under the name Spitfire Harley.
No kidding. Guess that explains a few things. We should head back to camp and get a move on. Sun's already higher than I'd like.
After you, Miss Johnson.
Didn't put the chalk back. Just saying. Hey, okay, we've made a bit of progress. Well, yeah, we're over halfway now, I think. But that was quite a big jump in progress. That's good. I'm not sure how many more stops we'll have. Did a time check on the video. It's a little shorter than the other episodes, but I think we'll leave it there, sort of having closed off a couple of stops along the way. But thanks very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, if you could hit that like button, that'd be fantastic. Do leave a comment as well. Let me know what you think about today's adventures. Any thoughts on the sort of choices we made in terms of the refugees and so on. Yeah, if you're watching this and haven't yet subscribed to the channel, if you could do that as well, that'd be fantastic. So thanks very much, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.